So some intelligence experts call the Boston bombing a homegrown attack, comparing it to Sandy Hook. Now, to buy that, you'd have to ignore the red flags that were raised about the dead bomber before the attack, or the associations to various terrorist lowlifes. Yep, you have to play down the idea that the bombing may be part of a greater movement meant to inspire mayhem. Sorry, the last time I checked, the Sandy Hook ghoul wasn't part of a larger hate group. Why didn't the experts cite the Fort Hood shooter instead? Here's why. The experts believe that if Muslims feel like they belong here, no more bombs. At this point, I'm trying hard not to explode. First, we worried if they liked us over there. Now we must worry whether they like us coming here. Here you have people leaving miserable places to come to the greatest country ever, and we must adapt to them. Imagine throwing a party in which the goal is to make it less fun. You pee in the dip, you trash the furniture, you punch each guest. Welcome to America, now 80% more like Afghanistan. This is the first time in history the world's greatest decides to assimilate downward. It goes back to exceptionalism. When we once believed that our country was tops, we expected those who came here to get it. Now, having forfeited that idea, we embrace a toxic tolerance that turns a blind eye to deadly connections. It's so sad. So many people left the desert to come here, and it's us who stick our heads in the sand. Dana, I hope you were listening, because that was directed at you.
Good.
All right, here's the thing that I want to make a very obvious point here if I can find my questions, because I'm so confused. There are other communities in America that live separately. They're called the Amish. All right?
Yes.
Do we worry about us assimilating to the Amish? Do we all start churning butter? No. So why is this different? Why do we have to assimilate to them or figure out their culture?
I have started quilting.
No, that's good.
And riding around in a buggy.
Yeah, good for you.
I thought you made excellent points. I don't understand in some of the reading that we had this morning from a very well-known columnist inside the Beltway, who said that basically the burden is on us.
Right.
To hope that they can somehow come to like us when they get here.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly when that changed. The last line in this is that it's not likely to spike into mass phenomenon, like the Zarna bombers. I don't understand why we are in this position. I'm not exactly sure how to get out of it if our leadership in Washington is telling columnists in the Washington Post that basically, well, there's not a lot we can do.
Yeah, I say tweet more dog photos to the Muslim community.
They might, okay.
That might be nice.
I could try.
There's a little distinction here. The Amish make the decision to keep themselves separate.
Right.
Right. And their culture is their culture, and if you want to join them and be Amish, fine. But they don't want to assimilate with the rest of America much. In the Muslims' case, that's where I have a hard time wondering whether they do too. And that's if you notice where there are large concentrations of Muslims in this country, they all congregate together. Very much like in London, same thing. And now maybe it's part of the process. This happened before when immigrants came to the United States. The Irish stayed together in one place, and the Italians.
That's why you have Little Italy and things like that.
Yeah, but those were a long time to assimilate, right? And now maybe that's the idea here. I don't know, but I do know this, that I have a problem when they set up their mosques and then we're ridiculed by clerics who really don't like us. I mean, why are you traveling all the way over here to get that kind of rap that you could get back home?
Yeah.
Are we going to put a mosque up at the end of the Boston Marathon finish line? Is that going to be the next thing that we have to do, like we did in New York City, to try and appease them? I cannot believe that this administration continues to say there's no ties, there's no ties. Al-Qaeda has changed. It's a brand. It's not a unified army, and they don't have cards with IDs. It's an idea.
Yeah.
And it really has changed. And the fact that we don't know that or acknowledge it is very scary. But also, Greg, very quickly, those brothers were more Americanized than anybody.
Right.
They boxed. They had no trouble meeting girls. They smoked pot. They love American TV shows.
Yeah.
They got our taxpayer dollars. They went to our schools. There is no better example that we welcomed them, showered them with our money, and they turned around and killed us.
Yeah, screw them.
And then the administration said, well, we Mirandized quickly because, you know, it's probably Lone Wolf, and he was probably, they were probably self-radicalized. Meanwhile, 60 Minutes, we pointed this out before, a couple of days after the bombing says, you know what, he was a nice kid. One girl said, I was in love with him. He was so cute. Another guy said, no, we tried to bring him into the Muslim Student Association, but he wouldn't join. And now we find out, if the Daily Caller is right,
No, go ahead.
That he played soccer with students from the Muslim Student Association. There's a lot of ties between the Muslim Student Association, Muslim Brotherhood. There's Al-Qaeda ties. There's radical imams who speak at the Muslim Student Association events. There's a lot more ties that we may have found had we not Mirandized them within 48 hours.
Can I point out, though, before we go any further, I said I didn't want any pictures of the bombers. I said to use the dog poop, and you didn't use the dog poop. Use the dog poop now.
I can get you a picture of dog poop this weekend.
All right. Do you have something you want to say?
Yes, I wanted to say that one of the...
That's what we're using.
One of the recommendations from the intelligence community is that we need more effective community policing. That's exactly what the NYPD was doing when they were doing community policing, and the AP tried to destroy them and got a Pulitzer for it.
Yeah. You know, can I just do this? I want to show the cover to the Boston Herald. Do we have that ready, guys? This is an amazing point that has to be made, that if those friends of the bombers had made that phone call when they texted back and forth to each other, that guy would be alive. Bob, last word?
I was just going to say that I think we were a little bit careful about indicting all Muslim student associations. There are a lot of them in a lot of college campuses. I don't think we can all say singularly that these are dangerous associations, because I don't think
all I said was 60 Minutes said, oh, no, they put a Muslim Student Association representative on saying, no, he wasn't part of our group. Well, he wasn't part of the group, but he had quite a bit of spent a lot of time with him playing in soccer games every single week.
Bad Muslims. Good Muslims, bad Muslims. Repeat after me.
All right.
Good Greeks, bad Greeks.
There are some bad Greeks, but they don't go blowing up things, Bob, and killing Americans.